Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Today we will be covering the Red Velvet Dragon, as we know, and maybe not so love him. This is a guide for like low-level dragons, where if you use your normal Afro Vamp, your vampire won't die in time. So there's this team with Crunchy, similar to solos in the past, to really optimize damage. And you can hit at least 60 million with this, as long as it's below like level 15. That's where I think this caps at. So, for the team, it will be Dark Choco, Crunchy, Eclair, Cotton, and Vampire with the usual setup for treasures. The toppings will differ very much depending on level. I'll probably throw like a chart on the screen for how I personally do it, with which toppings I put on which level. For example, my Crunchy won't be on full DR if it's like level 7, but he might have to on like level 14, for example. But these are the toppings I will be using for a level 8 one, because that's what my current guild is at, so we will be using that level. Okay, for Dark Choco, I use full DR, but you could probably use full attack on this level still with some damage yourselves. And then the cooldown, about 7.5 to 8.8, something in that range is good enough. Then Crunchy, for me, he uses full crit right now, with damages as subs. No cooldown is needed. You can also use full attack if you want to, but full crit is just what I had on hand, so I will use full crit. And if I go higher, I will start using a mix set, and then later on I will use a full DR set. For Claire on this level, I will be using full cooldown with a high focus on damage resist. You don't really need to focus on cooldown itself. The reason he has cooldown is just to avoid the slingshot so he doesn't kill himself with the damage reflect. On higher levels, he will probably want to throw in 2 DR pieces here. Cotton, about the same thing. You don't need a 24% set here because you don't need to tank a one-shot. So you just need to stack damage resist, and more cooldown is good so she does more healing, which you will definitely need to keep your team alive. And then Vampire, full attack, some damage as a sub, so definitely appreciate it, especially on the higher solo levels so he doesn't die early. And he needs at least 8.7% cooldown. This is important because on the last second, you will be able to use another skill, which gives, in my case, at least 6 million more damage. So yeah. This strategy, how high you can solo and how far you can get, really depends on like your bonds, your laboratories, your statue level, and especially your vampire promotion level. Funnily enough, you don't need a level 10 candy for this, but of course a higher level candy means more damage, so it's very much advise you to get it. Alright, let's go. Alright, so timing is pretty easy. You will be mostly using auto, but some specific timings will have to be done. Again, we have to count the tiles like you would a normal Afro Vamp. So 1, 2, 3, and this is tile number 4. When you hit tile number 4, you will be using Cotton and Crunchy at the same time when we just step over the tile, and then we will put Eclair on the queue right after. There we go. And when we go into the fights, when the timer hits 59, we will be using DC. But first, we will be putting the timer back onto Cotton so that Vamp does not automatically cast, which we definitely don't want. And as usual, you use your Vamp right after 6, so that he still hits it with the slingshot, but uses it as early as possible. And then for the rest, we will just let it auto for a while. Just spamming any skill that comes off cooldown early. You can tell my Crunchy barely survived, so he definitely needs more DR the higher the level goes. This is only level 8 after all. And it's normal for Crunchy to die around 20 seconds. Now, one thing we will be doing is because Crunchy is dead, the dragon will stun DC right as he's casting and basically eats his cast, which we don't want. So I will be putting the Q on Eclair. You can also do Cotton if your Eclair is already dead at this point. That's totally fine. So that he stuns, and then right after DC uses a skill. Now I'll put the time on Vamp. And as you can see, he barely dodged the stun and got ahead of the very last seconds. And there we go. You will usually get at least like 60 million with this strategy. I happen to hit 70 million now because my labs and my vampire promotion is quite decent. So yeah, I hope this will be helpful to get rid of those early annoying levels so that you can go back to the normal levels. Alright, thank you for watching.